Book review, The Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken by Patrick Carman, Bonkers. Book 2, Introduction, Patrick Carman's Bonkers. Series continues its zany, laugh-out-loud adventures with Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken, the second installment in what is quickly becoming cult favorite among middle-grade readers. Known for his imaginative plots, accessible writing, and penchant for the absurd, Carman brings together a perfect storm of comedy, chaos, and heart in the sequel, while the premise alone, giant chicken causing havoc, is enough to pique young readers' interest. It's Carman's talent for humor with meaning that sets the book apart. This review dives into what makes Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken such riotous and rewarding read. Its plot and structure, characters, themes, illustrations, humor, and what it contributes to the larger series and children's literature landscape. Plot summary. In Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken, Patrick Carman unleashes another delightfully deranged installment of Bonkers. Middle grade series tailor-made for fans of oddball horror, slapstick suspense, and wildly imaginative mysteries. Think Lemony Snicket meets Goosebumps by way of cartoon fever dream. Barker Mifflin, the hyper-prepared, ever-paranoid 11-year-old from the town of Nevermind, returns as our intrepid narrator. Barker is not your average kid. Carries go bag at all times, laces up his army boots like soldier preparing for siege, and brandishes slaughter with the confidence of samurai. He's certain that doom could descend at any moment. And unfortunately for the town of Nevermind, he's usually right. School's out for the summer, and Barker and his friends are hoping for quiet few months. That hope is quickly dashed when they begin working as strawberry pickers at McFadden Farm, place that turns out to be far stranger than the brochure, or lack thereof, suggested. The farm's foreman is teen tyrant known only as Supreme Commander McJerry, who seems to take special joy in bossing around the younger kids. McJerry's rules are rigid, his punishments bizarre, leadership style deeply questionable. But it's his little sister Megan who really throws Barker for a loop. Megan is quiet, intensely curious, and alarmingly informed about things like military-grade chicken feed and agricultural anomalies. She's clearly hiding something. But is she friend or foe? Soon Barker begins noticing strange happenings around the farm. The air in the barn shimmers weirdly, the fences seem to vibrate when no one's touching them, and one of Barker's classmates develops an alarming issue in her armpit that defies both science and deodorant. Worst of all, there's something lurking behind the reinforced doors of the old grain silo. Something that clucks loudly. When the mysterious silo finally bursts open, it unleashes horror that gives the book its bonkers name. Gigantic, 40-foot-tall chicken. But this is no barnyard bird. It's a mutant monstrosity with rage in its beady eyes and feathers sharp enough to slice through steel. As the poultry behemoth storms through Nevermind, crushing fences, scaring dogs, and flattening anything in its path, Barker and his gang must scramble, pun intended, to uncover the origins of this feathered menace. Megan, it turns out, has been conducting her own secret investigation. Her family, longtime custodians of McFadden Farm, has a complicated past tied to a government-funded agricultural experiment gone wrong. A rare chemical compound, codenamed Eggstring Grow, was intended to boost poultry productivity. Instead, it created monster. As the town panics, Barker and Megan must join forces. Armed with only their wits, an oversized fly swatter, and hastily rigged chicken luring contraption involving strawberry jam, bicycle horns, and karaoke machine, they lead the charge to stop the giant bird from reducing Nevermind to rubble. Along the way, they dodge pecking attacks, unravel secret blueprints, and navigate maze of underground tunnels built during the Cold War chicken crisis. Yes, that's thing in Nevermind. But the real heart of the story lies in Barker's growth. Despite his tendency to expect the worst, he begins to learn the value of trust, the importance of teamwork, and that sometimes the weirdest people make the best friends. Megan, too, sheds her secretive shell and proves to be not just brilliant thinker but loyal ally. In the explosive climax, Barker devises daring plan involving hot air balloon, hypnotic rooster call, and the town's annual bark pit. The showdown with the 40-foot chicken is both hilarious and heart-pounding, culminating in surprisingly touching resolution that leaves the townspeople united and slightly traumatized, but safe. Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken is a roller coaster of absurdity, full of witty dialogue, wacky science, and just the right amount of creepy, with fast-paced chapters, zany illustrations, and characters that leap off the page, sometimes literally. It's perfect for reluctant readers and fans of books like Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Captain Underpants, but with more feathers and far more danger. By the final page, Barker Mifflin has once again survived the unthinkable. If there's one thing we've learned from Nevermind, it's this: just when you think the weirdness is over, something even weirder is waiting around the corner or in the coop. Stay alert, stay bonkers. Characters. Freddie Butterpants remains an endearing, albeit reluctant, hero. His internal monologue, equal parts sarcasm, insecurity, and deadpan brilliance, keeps the reader tethered to reality even as the plot leaps into the utterly bonkers. He's a great example of the every kid. Not particularly brave or brilliant, but endlessly resourceful when it counts. His mix of flaws and heart gives readers someone to root for. Bexley continues to shine as the brainy, grounded counterpart to Freddie's chaotic energy. Their friendship is the emotional ballast of the story. Carman wisely avoids falling into the trope of romantic tension between them, focusing instead on camaraderie, loyalty, and mutual respect. Supporting characters are all exaggerated caricatures that somehow feel familiar. The panicky mayor who can't make decision without flipping coin, the evil ice cream vendor who may or may not be retired spy, and the eternally sleepy librarian who ends up playing pivotal role in decoding ancient poultry-related prophecy. Carman revels in their ridiculousness, yet imbues them with enough humanity that they never feel disposable. The titular chicken, eventually named Cluckles, was both source of destruction and surprising pathos. Without giving too much away, the creature's backstory offers an unexpected emotional twist, showing Carman's deftness at sneaking real storytelling into his zaniest creations. Themes. Despite its outlandish premise, Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken touches on several substantive themes that enrich the experience for readers. Responsibility and consequences. Freddie is learning to take responsibility not just for his own actions, but for helping his community. The book subtly encourages readers to think about what it means to step up in moments of crisis, even when you're unsure of yourself. Science and ethics. Through Dr. Waddleup's experiment, Carman introduces young readers to ideas about scientific responsibility and unintended consequences. There's no didactic lecturing here, just light touch reminder that curiosity should come with caution. Friendship and loyalty. At its heart, the story is about a group of misfits who support each other, even when the world thinks they're bonkers. This consistent underpins all the humor and chaos, giving the book its heart. Facing fears. Whether it's Freddie's fear of failure or the town's fear of giant poultry, the story explores how courage is in the absence of fear. Its action despite it. Humor and writing style. Carman's writing is breezy, sharp, and infused with absurdity. His voice, filtered through Freddie's first-person narration, is pitch perfect for middle-grade readers who enjoy books that don't talk down to them but still speak their language. There are puns galore, many chicken-related outrageous metaphors, and narrative asides that feel like knowing wink to the reader. What sets Carman apart is his ability to balance humor for kids and the adults who might be reading alongside them. While younger readers will laugh at the sight of the chicken laying car-sized egg in the mayor's office, adults will catch the sly nods to bureaucratic red tape, science fiction tropes, and pop culture references. The pacing is relentless in the best way, with chapters often ending on cliffhangers that practically force the reader to keep going. This makes the book an ideal choice for reluctant readers. There's always ridiculous, unexpected, or hilarious just around the corner. Illustrations and design. Illustrator Brian Sheasley returns to provide visual feast that complements Carman's manic storytelling. The black and white drawings throughout the book are both detailed and cartoonish, capturing the absurdity of the situations while enhancing the emotional beats. From schematics of Dr. Waddleup's lab to the final showdown involving helicopter trampoline and an exploding marshmallow cannon, Sheasley's art adds an extra layer of joy to the reading experience. Carman and Sheasley work in concert, with jokes often set up in the text and paid off in the illustrations. This visual-verbal synergy is a key part of the series' charm. World building and continuity. Though Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken can be read as standalone, it rewards readers who have followed Freddie's story from the beginning. Carman builds on the world introduced in Book 1, expanding Crabapple's lore and deepening the town's weirdness. There's growing sense of mythology. Bonkers verse, if you will, that hints at larger conspiracies and wilder adventures to come. The book closes with tantalizing tease about the next big thing, involving time-traveling wombats and cursed ice rink. It's clear Carman has long-term plans, and he's expertly laying the groundwork for future installments without bogging down the current story. Target audience and readability. The book is ideal for readers aged 8-12, especially those with love of humor, high-stakes action, and quirky characters. Its readability is boosted by short chapters, punchy prose, and high ratio of dialogue to description. There's no fluff. Every sentence propels the reader forward. Teachers and parents will appreciate the book's subtle messages about teamwork, resilience, and learning from mistakes, all delivered without hint of preachiness. Librarians looking for gateway books for reluctant readers will find Bonkers. Go to recommendation. Critical perspective. If there's critique to be made, it's that the book occasionally leans too hard into chaos, which might overwhelm more sensitive or structure-preferring readers. The humor is relentless, and the pace sometimes sacrifices depth for laughs. Few of the jokes, especially the more pun-based ones, might also wear thin depending on the reader's tolerance for wordplay. However, these are minor quibbles in an otherwise stellar addition to the series. Carman's lies in knowing exactly when to push the absurdity and when to dial it back for an emotional gut punch or moment of reflection. The balance is tricky, but he pulls it off with aplomb. Conclusion. Attack of the 40-Foot Chicken is more than just silly story about mutant chicken. It's celebration of imagination, friendship, and the messy glory of growing up weird. Patrick Carman has created a world where anything can happen and usually does, but where heart and humor always come first. By blending comedy, action, and clever commentary, Carman cements Bonkers. A must-read series for middle-grade audiences. If you're looking for a book that will make kids laugh out loud while sneakily feeding them lessons about courage, teamwork, and the responsibilities of science, then this giant chicken is worth crossing the road for. Rating 5. Perfect for fans of Diary of Wimpy Kid, Captain Underpants, and Lemony Snicket. The second installment is even more delightfully ridiculous than the first, and that's saying something.